Panther family. It's Leslie Prideaux from the UNI Alumni Association, and I'm with my friend Bill. So we thought in this time of COVID-19 and all of us really trying to collectively flatten the curve, we thought it would be fun to institute a new virtual program called Tuesday Talks. Just lost my phone.
Oh, no.
Knew that was going to happen. That's okay. This is my studio. I took away the toy room for my kids because it's the only room with purple walls. So this will be where I record everything. So anyway, so each week I'm going to try to speak with a faculty member on a topic that I hope is interesting to our Panther fans. This week, I know I was thinking about like what most of us are doing. And I know a big thing we're doing is streaming a lot of TV, some good, some not so good. And one of the shows that sucked myself and my spouse into was the Netflix Love is Blind, which I know it was like top 10. I think it was number 4 at one point streaming in the country.
Unseated by Tiger King. But
right. See, that's going to have to be our next one.
Yeah, that's a whole nother bag of worms.
I think we're going to have to bring in like some psychology faculty members.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was so fascinating, and I thought how many other people are watching this, and I have so many questions, and so you were the first person that came to mind to be like, all right, Bill, dissect the show with me.
Yeah, it has been a source of topic among all of our students. So I teach a class in dating, and so like right as it came out, all of my students were emailing me, "Oh, have you watched it?" And I was like, "Give me some time, guys. I have a full-time job." But then once I started going, I got sucked into,
those episodes. Oh, yeah. Man. So just to remind everybody, Bill, you're an associate professor of family services here at UNI and an administrative fellow in the office of the provost and vice president for academic affairs. Yep. And you teach courses on various topics, including dating and relationships, research methods, human development, and professional practice in nonprofit organizations. Did I miss anything?
Got it. No, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Cool. So we posted, sorry, my dogs are also my live audience, so you might hear them in the background. We posted we posted an opportunity for our alumni to submit some questions. And so we got some interesting ones. The first one is one I'm super interested in knowing too. Why do you think people care about shows like this, and how do they suck us in?
I mean, I think probably a lot of it has to do with the contrivedness of I think we're all deep inside little experimenters. And so if we already are married or if we're in the act of dating, it's always interesting to kind of ask ourselves, what if we changed this, or what if we moved this around? And then it doesn't hurt. I know one of the other questions was about the attractiveness of the participants. We can be real. They're all really good looking people. Just like if you watch The Bachelor, I mean, everyone on The Bachelor is really attractive. Everyone on Married at First Sight, really attractive. And that draws us in, right? We like attractive people. So.
Right. The next question, like, it was interesting. So the premise of the show is, is love blind?
Right.
They only cast attractive people. So how do you think that would have been different if people weren't, societally that, traditional attractiveness?
Yeah. So what I would say is that, like, research shows us that attractiveness is important. However, attractiveness based on what your preference is. So if you are somebody who really likes a certain look of a person, you're going to be drawn to those people. So if they were somebody that one of the participants did not find that attractive, then they probably would have not been that interested. Now, there's also some research out there that you can find someone mildly attractive, and as you get to know them, you find them more attractive for their qualities and stuff like that. But by and large, it is rare that you find somebody not even attractive at all, and then you kind of work your way into it. It's that is definitely a caveat that with any show on TV. And like I said, I just don't think that there would be good TV watching if we had really average people.
Right. Another one, I think with Cameron. Who did he marry? I can't remember her name.
I pulled these up because I am horrendous with names.
Right?
Well, And so my wife tells me that I am really good at getting names almost right and then confusing everybody else in the world. So Cameron and Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren, one of the things she talked about was her mom kind of pressuring her and reminding her her biological ticking top clock.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's such a societal pressure to get married?
Yeah, that's a and if you look at the research, the age of what we traditionally think people are going to get married, it's going up. People are waiting. People are more and more opting out. So what you think about is kind of you've got these people who got married in their 20s, and maybe when they were teenagers, and then kind of tails off in their 30s. So now this new cohort of people who are getting married may not value it as much, but your family has a huge influence. And so some of that societal pressure comes from the top down. So it was valued in Generation X and the baby boomers to get married. And so now they kind of push that down on their kids. What'll be really interesting is in 50 years, if what we call now millennials and Gen Zs, if they will be pressuring their kids to get married, or if it'll be a much more kind of like, if you want to get married, get married. If you don't. You should just do what you like. I think probably some of that drive as well with her is not so much the societal pressure to get married, but the societal pressure to have a kid, and she wants to have a kid, and then her beliefs that you should be married when you have a kid, because there are a lot of people out there that decide to have kids and they never get married. But if that's your belief system, then you're going to put that pressure to get married first and then kind of go through those steps. So
That makes total sense. So, what do you think the odds that a couple who met on the show are
Mhm.
as prepared for marriage as a couple who might have met under normal or typical circumstances?
That's a really good. So when I was watching it, there were a couple of them, and I'm going to look up the names. There was the guy who was the fitness. He did fitness stuff. I'm looking for him. I'm looking for him now. No, where'd you go? Ah, Mark, right? So Mark was quite young. And I would contest that Mark's belief on what marriage is, and you're married, Leslie, I'm married, full disclosure. I will tell my students whenever they think about getting married, marriage is a lot of work. And there are a lot of bad days, there's a lot of good days, and there's a lot of days where it is just you have to really put in the work if you want to stay married. And I think Mark seemed very uninformed about how much work being married and relationships are. Um, so in that respect, I kind of think, they probably weren't that ready. I have no idea if you go sign up for that show, are you more or less ready? I think probably if you watch this show or The Bachelor, or there's another show on, I think it's TLC or Lifetime, called Love is Blind, where they essentially get matched up with experts, kind of the same, or not Love is Blind, Married at First Sight. Yeah. They have one called Married at First Sight where these experts kind of match people up based on how compatible they are. Some of those people I think go on the show because they want to be a TV star. And if they happen to find love, yeah, let's do it. I think probably we talk about this a lot in one of my classes. If you were dating somebody that you didn't like, or if you were dating somebody and you wanted to break up with them, kind of this traditional way we do it is you do these protracted breakups. Maybe you break up for a bit, then you get back together. Any show like this kind of has this like drop dead date where it's like, you're done, you got to break up now. And so it forces that decision, which I think forces people to kind of make more rash decisions than we would in real life.
That makes total sense. Well, speaking of
And I think,
more,
well, I got one more thing to add.
oh, yes, yes.
I'm looking for the names. I think it was here we go. I got him. Gianna and Damien actually broke up and then got back together.
Those two.
Yeah, so they basically got in a fight, and then and if you saw it, she stormed off. I mean, they just
Down
blew
the
up at each
hill.
other. Yep, yep. And then they was she the one who fell?
Yeah, in her wedding
Yeah,
dress.
which was like, I mean, I imagined when that happened, the TV producers was like, "Oh, gold,
Yes.
this
Yes,
is
right?
exactly what we want." But they actually are together now. If I read what I online, the
Yep.
reports. So basically they had this blow up, and then hour later they were talking again. Some people, that's how they have relationships. Some people, that's how they fight. Probably not the most stable way to do it, but I guess in the end, if we're trying to find love, you kind of find what works. And if that's going to work for them their whole life, I would predict it probably won't, but prove me wrong.
Sounds a little exhausting. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
exactly, right.
favorite couple for some reason. I'm like, how can that be your favorite couple? They're
Mm,
insane. But
yeah,
there's a couple for each of them.
I was really into the Barnett, and then the Mark and Jessica, and I can't remember the other lady's name, but that love kind of quad angle thing, that was entertaining for me.
Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of Jessica and Mark, Mark is only 24 and Jessica is 34. I don't know how many times we heard that in
Yeah,
the show. But I mean, it brings up a good question about, do you think age really matters, or is that just in Jessica's head?
that's a really good question. So what I would say is concrete age doesn't matter. What matters probably is where you are and what you want in life and your maturity. So if you both want to have a relationship, you both want to work, and one of you is 24 and one of you is 38, and you want to work on that relationship, it'll probably work out fine. Um, there's going to be differences in life experiences. There's going to be differences in your beliefs. But if you're willing to communicate, you can kind of work through that. I think probably the subtext there was that Jessica wasn't sure if she really liked Mark. And so that became, kind of an easier kind of like, I don't know what you want to call it, but something to talk about or something to kind of put up there for why they're having problems. So if you want to watch more about that, the Bachelorette this year, which starts sometime in May, and I assume we're all going to be, if we're not out of our houses by then, like any type of TV is going to be amazing for us.
Right.
She is 38, and traditionally the people on The Bachelor are in that like 24 to 30-year-old thing. So I have a feeling that there is going to be a lot of talk about how she's older, and they're going to paint her out to be this like super old person, but really like 38 is not that old, right? Maybe I'm saying that because I'm 38, but yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
like I don't, yeah, I don't think 38 is very old at all. But I think in a show like that, that's really going to be played up. That's my prediction. We can come back here and you can,
Awesome. Yeah, we might have to have another Tuesday talk with Bill.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and
no
hope you
problem.
guys stay safe and well. And
Yeah. Stay safe, everybody. You and I. I'm going to put in. Can I put in one little plug?
absolutely
Just on behalf of the university, the staff, the faculty. If there's students out here, current students who are watching this, we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You are rolling with this so well, and we know this is not the ideal, but we're all at a point where we're doing our best. And all of my students, everyone I've worked with, has just been amazing at kind of rolling with it. So thank you. Thanks for the grace. And hopefully we can all get back in the fall and be really excited to see each other.
awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank
Bill.
you.
You said it perfectly.
Have a great day.
We'll see ya.
Bye.